this coming NFL season. The Eagles made a big splash in the offseason, giving their third-year starter a new weapon when they traded for wide receiver A.J. Brown. And despite only doing individual drills and 7-on-7 work, Hurts has looked outstanding so far at OTAs, according to reports. Threw just over 3,100 yards last season, along with 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and those numbers could take a jump in 2022 in his second year in Shane Steichen's offense.
I think last year, right, we were a new staff, right, and we were evolving as an offense, right, and so as the season got going on, I ended up taking over more of the play calling mid-season, and then again, like Nick has a stamp on every single thing we do. So in the meeting rooms, he has a stamp on everything we do, right? Every play that's on that call sheet, right, he makes sure it's clear, justified, boom, and we're good to go. So going forward, I'll be calling the plays, next year, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a convoluted approach. I heard Steichen say to it there. Sirianni relaying the play, Steichen then communicating with Hurts. But the head coach said, you know what? Since you're already communicating with him, you should call the plays. And you see the difference.
It's going to get done somehow.
Between weeks 1 and 9 and weeks 10 to 18, a significant difference, and it will be Steichen calling the plays and talking to Jalen Hurts moving forward.
Well, the Commanders excited about a healthy Curtis Samuel this season. Last season, the wide receiver dealing with muscle injuries limited him to just 5 games for only 6 catches, 27 yards, no touchdowns. But already at OTAs, Curtis Samuel turning heads. Commanders offensive coordinator Scott Turner saying Curtis can, quote, play everywhere, and they plan on using him as such. So what does a healthy Curtis Samuel look like? Most rushing yards by a wide receiver the past 3 seasons. Well, despite playing in only 5 games last year, he is still sitting at 3rd on that list. Sticking with the Commanders, the team still hoping Chase Young will be good to go for Week 1. The NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year 2020 tore his ACL Week 10 in their game against the Bucs. The star pass rusher is back at the practice facility. He's still rehabbing. Here's more from head coach Ron Rivera on Young's progress.
Again, having one of your veteran players, one of your leaders out and around, in spite of, the fact that he's rehabbing, and again, it's good. I mean, it is voluntary, obviously, and Minicamps not for a couple more weeks, but, for the most part, having guys here is very important.
Is it still too early to get a sense of when he's going to be able to participate in practices?
Well, to me it is. I mean, I'm not the doctor, obviously. Doc has been pleased with it. There's a plan. They're working on that plan. And we'll see where he is once we get ready for training camp.
Taking a look at odds to win Defensive Player of the Year, Chase Young is on that list. He told the media, look, I'm not sure when I'm going to be ready to play again. He says, I'll just have to feel it and then I will know. But he did point out that the Commanders' first game still 3 months away. At that point, he will be 11 months removed from his injury. Commanders open the season September 11th, hosting the Jags.
The Detroit Lions moved up in the NFL draft to select wide receiver Jameson Williams, but they're not sure when they'll have him ready to play in 2022. Williams still recovering from that torn ACL that he suffered in the national championship game. Now, the timeline for his return projected to be sometime in October. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson says it's a challenging situation because there is no chemistry between their burner and quarterback Jared Goff, unlike the situation last year between Goff and Josh Reynolds, whom they brought in. Johnson speaking about that this week. It's going to be a challenge because you can't really compare it to the Josh Reynolds situation from last year. The thing for us to get him back, get him healthy, and then get him as many reps as possible with the quarterbacks. That's one thing that Goff had naturally with Josh coming from their days in Los Angeles. So yeah, it may take a little bit of time.
29-year-old Jarvis Landry apparently dominating at Saints OTAs in Metairie, Louisiana, just outside New Orleans. Head coach Dennis Allen saying the 5-time Pro Bowler has been a great addition to the team, saying, quote, he looks like what I would expect Jarvis Landry to look like, making one-handed catches, great in transition, and being a role model to guys like rookie receiver Chris Olave. Landry, who grew up in the New Orleans area, says it feels good to be home. There's more from him.
It's been a breath of fresh air, to be back home, to be around the culture that's already been set here in New Orleans, the leadership that's here already, and obviously, we all need to stay healthy, so we can, have a chance to do what we set out to do. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just, getting my feet back under me, trying to get understanding of the playbook so I can play a little bit faster, but those things will come with just reps. We got a couple weeks here before we close out, and then that continues on into training camp and the season. So I'll be ready.
Fantasy projections for the Saints wide receivers there, with Michael Thomas returning from injury this season, adding Jarvis Landry to the mix, and then, of course, Chris Olave, who they drafted 11th overall.
Minnesota Vikings are coming off a 2021 season that saw them go 8-9 and finish 5 wins inferior to the Green Bay Packers. Now, Minnesota finished the regular season ranked 12th in total yards, 14th in total points, and often prioritized controlling the ball, not taking chances instead of trying to create explosive plays. For that reason and a few others, head coach Mike Zimmer is gone. In steps Kevin O'Connell, and the coaching move is one that will lead to a Vikings offense that will be more explosive and unpredictable. That, according to star wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Jefferson quoted this week saying, "We had an old-style offense last year. It's 2022. You get into a new age and move to a new generation. Adding new things to the offense definitely allows us to be more comfortable with the offense and work in different areas of the fields." Nothing wrong with being old, Amanda. Just saying. Taking a look at O'Connell, as offensive coordinator in LA last year, led the Rams to finish 9th in total offense. They ranked 2nd in plays of 50-plus yards, 4th in yards per play, and 8th in offensive touchdowns. Perhaps even more importantly, though, under the guidance of O'Connell, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford and wide receiver Cooper Kupp both had career years in 2021, so expectations high for the Vikings offense.
After 4 seasons as the Bears head coach, Matt Nagy taking on his new old role as quarterbacks coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a position that he held from 2013 to 2015 before being elevated to offensive coordinator before heading to Chicago. Nagy, with long history with head coach Andy Reid, by the way, dating back to 2008. He was Reid's intern at that time. Nagy telling reporters this week that he wants to use his experience in Chicago, including the failures, to make himself and his team better. Nagy was the OC when the Chiefs drafted that guy right there, Patrick Mahomes, 10th overall. Here's more from Nagy on his current quarterback.
He's just such a special player. I mean, he's rare. But then when Kansas City came to Chicago and you got to look across the sideline and see that dude over there, it's like, okay, maybe just score like 24 instead of like 42. But I'm so excited to be in that room with him and just to see the personality that he has. He has a great balance of how to be a great quarterback, but yet be a great leader. Really, he's still coachable. You think a guy like this, like you've done everything. You've won a Super Bowl. You've been to 4 straight AFC championships. He's so coachable, and he wants that. There's a hunger there, and to me, that's what's exciting for me.
Of course, by this point, everybody knows Patrick Mahomes' resume there. Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, NFL MVP, Pro-Time Pro Bowler. He will be 27 years old in September. He is the second favorite behind Josh Allen to win MVP.
Let's stick with the quarterback in New York. Jets quarterback Zach Wilson entering his sophomore NFL season. Expectations are high that he'll take a leap. He completed just 55% of his passes last year, and if OTAs are any indication, expectations may need to be tempered. Wilson has been up and down thus far. The good news is the Jets' rushing game is in good hands with both Michael Carter and rookie Breece Hall in the mix. Carter says the Jets' youth movement is good.
I think our potential is through the roof. And obviously, they always say we're a young team. I think the Rams were one of the youngest teams in the league last year too. Even though they got a lot of old heads, not the core of the team, but a lot of the team is young. So are the Bengals. It's when you look at the Super Bowl last year, and it's a young man's league. And I know the old heads hate to hear that, but it is though. I learned that from an OG that I trained with down south. And so we have so much, and as long as the better we can make the learning curve for the guys who just came in, along with the second-year guys and third-year guys who are continuing to learn, and even in year 10, Vinny Curry is still learning. So as long as we're all learning and we're making plays, the athletic ability is there.
So the question about Zach Wilson,
Doc.
got the weapons around him.
Doc.
Our Brady Quinn on the Pat McAfee show this week saying maybe the Jets should move on from Wilson if he doesn't perform this season.
Stirring the pot there, Jeremy.
Certainly
Stirring the
lots
pot.
of offensive weapons. Elijah Moore, great season last year, looking to build on that. Denzel Mims only had 8 receptions last year. He's looking to take a jump up after a number of healthy scratches. And, of course, Garrett Wilson, the newbie, the young kid. It's a young man's league.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.